It was indeed a great Easter, and I hope you guys got the time to really relax over this Easter weekend and now back in the full swing of things. We're delving into the world of dog senses, and over the past couple of weeks we've taken a look at all different kind of senses that man's best friend has. And this morning we're talking about touch, the sense of touch. And I know Ansie, she's very excited about this topic, aren't you, Ansie? Because you say it's one of the most interesting ones.
It's fascinating. Of all the five senses, yes, this is the most fascinating, and it's a really large area to be chatting about.
And look, they're touching already. You can see how special this is. So let's. I hope you're going to unpack it for us a little bit, but I think let's start right at the beginning with puppies. When do they actually develop their sense of touch?
Unlike hearing and the sense of sight, from birth.
Yeah.
So they're born blind and not seeing yet and not hearing yet.
Yes.
And they've got the special detector in their nose, which detects their mom, the warmth. But it's the actual sense of touch, having detected mom, that is what gives the puppy the sense of well-being, the calming. Everything that makes the puppy a well-adjusted dog, it's due to the sense of touch.
So
very, very
from the minute
important.
they are born with a sense of touch. And I know that also research suggests that human babies develop faster and better with enough touch and attention. Is that the same when it comes to puppies?
Absolutely. In fact, with babies, if they don't have frequent touching, they actually display a negative flow in their growth of development. With puppies, what happens is you have an outcome where the puppy would become what we call touch sensitive.
Yes.
They display symptoms of fearfulness, withdrawnness. It makes it very, very hard for a puppy to be trained or be part of the family when you have that sort of situation. And you'll find that it's the sort of tests that are done by the animal welfare groups to test whether the puppy is touch sensitive because of this very reason.
I see.
So touch sensitivity can develop because of A, they haven't been exposed to touch, B, because somewhere in the past there's been mishandling, but it can always be overcome.
Yes.
With time and patience, you can overcome it. You can do a little test at home if you like. If you take a doggy's paw in your hand,
yes,
and with the other hand, thumb and finger, you get the webbing between the toes. You get that webbing,
yes,
and you put a little bit of pressure on and start counting 1 to 10 as you increase the pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As you can see, Bella is not touch sensitive.
At all. You can, she's been loved, just like Bobby as well. Okay, so when they actually pull away or they start biting maybe your hand, that means...
Absolutely. You've got a touch sensitive dog.
All right.
And
so maybe that's a good sign as well when you do go, and maybe if you want to rescue a dog, is this one of the things that you can do to look at whether that dog will be a good companion?
Absolutely, yes.
That's a very good one. All right. So the sense of touch, let's go bring it back to puppies again. How does it aid in the bonding process between pup and mother, even between the pup and you as a human?
Touch is their ability to help them to communicate. So they communicate not only with other animals by touching, as we saw earlier on, the face is touching. Yes. This is all part of the dog is basically saying, I feel comfortable with you, and will therefore elicit touch. Yes. Okay? So very, very, very important, because it is part of the communication. It is a sense, the sense of well-being plays a very, very large role with touch.
All right. So touch, obviously, we've established that it is very important, not only for pup and mother, but also between the owner and the dog. Quickly, the difference between the human hand, obviously this is where we touch. Our fingertips are one of the most sensitive places. And a dog's paw, because, I mean, that's pretty, how we can compare it.
For us, our biggest organ for touching is our skin, and our most sensitive part of that is our fingertips. Obviously, dogs with their feet, they walk on them, so we don't want those too sensitive, which they're not. Their most sensitive area is the muzzle. So when a doggy comes up to you and starts nuzzling you, he is basically exploring his world, his tactile world, the physical world. Let him. I mean, that is part of the development. Everything is through the muzzle. So it's dogs are amazing. They never hold back.
Dogs are amazing. They
They
never
never
hold
hold
back.
back.
They love you unconditionally, which is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And it's
You can just see these
expressed
two.
in the
And it's
touch.
expressed. As you say, it's a fantastic topic. Very interesting. We're going to continue it next week.
Yes.
As you've said, because there's so much more to talk about. Even the fact that when you, as an owner, stroke your dog for just a minute, you can lower your blood pressure. But more on that next week. We'll see you guys after the break.
Share the love with South Africa's most loved dog food, Bobtail, for strong South African dogs.